Hi, I'm Patrice Torsivia-Prusco, and I am one of the wayfinders in the HumanMOOC, and we are really excited to be starting off the fourth running of the HumanMOOC. And throughout each iteration, we've done a lot of really interesting research, and today Maha is with us to tell us a little bit about the research that she's interested in doing.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited about the HumanMOOC this time. We got a lot of exciting speakers, a lot new tools that we're going to be using, so I'm really excited. As for my research, for those who joined us during the spring 2015 offering, they might remember the study that I did then. It was a pilot study, and I got a lot of exciting and interesting insights from that study. And I want to just talk about it so that they can see how it shaped my current research, which is actually my dissertation research. So in that study, we had a pre and post test. In the pre-test, we asked them, the research area that I'm looking into is basically persistence to goals in massive open online courses. So we asked them in the pre-test what their goals were. And I focused on those who said they wanted to earn a badge. Because it's easier to actually confirm later, right? Other goals are hard to measure, but if they say they want to earn a badge, then you can see later whether they earned it or not. Now, in the post-test, I had two different sets of questions. I had one for those who got the badges and for those who didn't. So in order to direct them to their questions, I had to ask them, did you achieve your goal? And I just naively assume that they will all be consistent with what they said in the pre-test. So those who didn't achieve the badge would say no. We didn't achieve our goal. Now, for all those who achieved the badges, they said yes. But for those who didn't achieve or didn't get the badge, half of them said yes, we achieved our goal. Now, for that study, I had to create a new variable. I was looking at persistence, and that was manually a 0 and 1 by me. So I looked at their, whether they earned the badge or not. But then I created another variable, called it personal goal. And I used their answers to that question as 0, 1. So if they say, yeah, we achieved our goal, they achieved their goal. But it got me thinking, what happened here? One thought that came to mind is that maybe their goals changed. And I think that's a different line of research, and maybe more into goal commitment and that area. But another possible explanation is that maybe earning a badge isn't as important as it is in, let's say, passing a course. So maybe they didn't earn the badge, but they still thought that the learning experience was very valuable to them. So they said, yeah, we achieved our goal. So that also got me thinking about how we, in current quantitative research in MOOCs, how we usually use the binary definition of persistence or retention as 0 or no. Maybe it's more of a continuous variable. There's a continuum. Okay, I didn't achieve everything I wanted, but I did learn something. So that's how that insight from that study shaped my dissertation study. So to explain my dissertation study, I'm gonna give an example. So let's say we have 3 participants. Participant A says, I want to earn a badge. I want to have it on my LinkedIn page. I want to build up my resume. Then you have participant B who is just wants to learn a specific tool. Maybe they heard, in the HumanMOOC we're using Flipgrid and Yellow Dig, so maybe they just want to learn this specific tool to use it in their current online courses. And then there's another person who might join just to build their network, connect with other people. Now, the way they would interact with the MOOC is very different, right? So for the first one who wants to earn the Community of Inquiry badge, we expect them to stay, give me a second, I need to shut the door. So for participant A, we expect them to, be consistent, submit all the assignments, and be, but not necessarily be active on social media and other, stuff. Participant B, we expect them, those who just want to learn a tool, would learn the tool, maybe stick around for a week or two, and then just leave the MOOC. They learned what they wanted to learn, and they just left. And then participant C, who wants to build their network, would probably, log into Canvas, introduce themselves, get a number of like Twitter accounts, blogs, and then probably, maybe, would just stick in that area, social media, and start connecting and discussing and learning through that, and not necessarily Canvas. Now, their interaction is very different. The time of when they stop engaging with the content and the MOOC itself is different, right? Mm-hmm. So how can we, and that was the problem for me when I designed the study, how can I account for all these different goals? Mm-hmm. And then how can I measure whether they achieve their goals? Mm-hmm. And if the timing is not relevant, and it should not be a defining factor in whether they persisted or not, when do I ask them? Mm-hmm. When do I go to them and say, hey, when do you ask them? A post-test alone, when the MOOC is done, doesn't seem very effective, especially for people who just, at the beginning just left. You go back 5 weeks later and say, hey, can you please tell me, So thinking about all these issues, I created one survey that I am hoping that participants in the HumanMOOC would fill out once they reach a point where they believe they are done with the MOOC. Now, this is a very tricky, because people, they might come and go. Maybe I stop submitting assignments, but I would still stick around for the live hangouts, so it's very tricky. But the HumanMOOC is very short. It's a 4-week MOOC. And I am targeting those people when they reach that point where they start to reflect on their learning experience and say, hey, what did I get from this? And what things that I wanted to do that I couldn't. And then, so we ask them about their goals, and then we ask them, what percent do you estimate you achieved of your goals? So they tell us, it's not a yes or no. Mm-hmm. It's not a yes, I achieved, or no, I didn't, or yes, I persisted, or no, I didn't. It's a percentage. And participants tell me how they believe, or how much they believe they've learned from the MOOC. Another point that I want to say is that we call it the HumanMOOC Experience Survey. I was going to call it the Exit Survey, but we felt like that was would give people, an impression that, oh, if you fill it out, you're not welcome again. So yeah, just an important point is that if you fill it out and you still want to come back or do something, of course it's okay. It's not like we're not going to, close the door or anything, but it's just that I want them, once they reach that point, okay, I think I'm done now, to fill out the survey.
Oh, that's great. The research sounds really exciting. I can't wait to hear the results. Are there specific things that the participants in the course need to know, as far as participating in your research? Are there steps that they need to take?
Okay, so the research is anonymous. There's no identifiable data that I'll be collecting. However, every participant who fills out the survey gets a chance to get a $10 gift card, and they get to choose whether they want a Starbucks or an Amazon gift card. For me to send that gift card, I ask them to put in their email address. So I will be asking for email address, but I won't, but the email addresses will be removed before I start analyzing the data. Those gift cards, I'm going to give it out during the last week of December. Last week of December, everyone gets the gift cards. Another thing is that, of course, it's voluntary. If you don't want to participate, you don't have to. I hope you do. I want to graduate people, please. But it's voluntary. And even after they submit their responses and then they decide they want to drop out, or they just let me know, and I'll remove their data. And also, this study has been approved by the Institutional Review Board at George Mason University. And like I said, again, we want them to fill out the survey towards their end of, whatever they decide. I won't tell them, because from my point of view, the timing of when they drop out is not a reflection of the learning experience. I think it's more complicated than that. So whenever you feel like you're done, you fill out the survey. The survey will be available as soon as the MOOC starts. So some people might say, well, why do you have it in the beginning, the first day? Well, some of the factors that I'm looking at is learners' perception of the learning benefit. So when participants log in, the MOOC is closed, but it opens on Monday. So the first thing people do is they look through the activities and look, is this worth it or not? Do I want to put time into this or not? Some people might say, well, no, it's not really what I need. So the task value of the different learning activities that we have is one of the things that I'm looking at. So even if you just log in once, you look at it, you don't think that you're going to be participating, you can still fill out the survey. It would still give us some good insights that we can use to improve the design. So if a lot of people, for instance, say the task value was they scored low on that, or we scored low on that, then we know that maybe we need to make the learning activities more relevant, something like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's about the study. If anyone has any more questions, I got my email address, my phone number through Twitter, and I'm online 24/7 basically. So and just one last thing is that please help a sister out and fill out the survey. Don't forget, there's a page on the HumanMOOC Canvas where there's the description of the study and a link to the survey.
Well, it's great. And we're really looking forward to working with everyone in the HumanMOOC, which, as Maha mentioned, starts on Monday. And don't forget to fill the survey out and check out us on Twitter at #HumanMOOC. Yeah. So thanks a lot, everyone.
Okay. Bye.